How much is insurance going to pay for my car? This is one of those questions that we get asked a ton. And honestly, it's one of the toughest ones for us to actually answer. So in today's video, we're going to try to shed some light on that topic and more coming up next. Hey folks, Jack Wingate here, and on this channel, we help individuals, families, and businesses save money on their insurance, help you understand insurance a little bit better, and let you know what's going on in the insurance industry. And my oh my, do we get this question a ton. How much is the insurance company going to pay for my vehicle? Now, normally this situation comes up when there is a loss. More times than not, a total loss. So at the end of this video, we're going to discuss what determines a total loss in the state of North Carolina. But to start with, let's talk about how the insurance company determines the value on your vehicle. And it's simple. They have a computer program that tells them how much your vehicle should be worth. That's the long and short answer of it. But that doesn't really tell you a lot. And for the most part, people think that the insurance companies are always trying to get one over on them with the value of their vehicle. So let's dig in to what that number actually means. In the second question, once we get asked, well, how much do they value my car for? They'll ask, well, what book value do they use? Do they use Blue Book? NADA? I've even heard of a red book. I'm not even sure where this book belongs, but I've heard of it. Well, the insurance company actually doesn't use any of those books in their computations. Their software just doesn't do it. The software actually takes your VIN number, it plugs it in, and it calculates some stuff. You put in the mileage, general condition of the vehicle, and it spits out a number. And that number is supposed to be along the lines of this. And I've had this confirmed by a number of different high-level claims people that I've spoken with. The goal of insurance is to put you back in a position as close as possible to what you were before the time of the incident. So, we want to take you, if you had a 2010 Chevy Tahoe with 100,000 miles, we want to get you back into a Chevy Tahoe with 100,000 miles in the same condition that yours was in. But you might ask, well, I got my check for my 2010 Chevy Tahoe and I wasn't able to go get a Chevy Tahoe, a 2010 model with that money. What's the difference? Well, the difference is this. The Chevy Tahoe sitting on a car lot somewhere more than likely has pretty new to fresher tires. It's been cleaned. It's spotless as can be. The dealership has done inspections to make sure everything is running, if it's a reputable dealership. That car is in as good a condition as it possibly can be because they're trying to sell it. Your vehicle probably wasn't in that good a condition. So in general terms, your car is actually worth less than that same model with the same mileage on it sitting on the dealership. That's just plain and simple. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you need to swallow it nonetheless. So what can you do if you don't agree with the value? Well, first thing to know is this. In my experience, most insurance companies and most insurance adjusters want to do what's right. They're not trying to get one over on you. They want to pay you a fair price for your vehicle. But people are people, carriers are carriers, things happen. So if, let's say that your 2010 Chevy Tahoe, you feel like it's worth $8,000 and you get offered $4,000. I'm picking numbers out of the air here. If you don't agree with the value that was put on by the adjuster, it is your right to escalate that claim up the chain of command. That adjuster has a boss. You can run it up to them. If you still get the same valuation, you're still not happy, I mean, you could hire a lawyer to get involved, but probably not gonna. Once you pay the lawyer, you're probably not going to have the outcome that you want. I suggest honestly going around to some local dealerships, finding comparable cars, and if it's a big spectrum, a broad range of prices, you can kind of figure out where your car should kind of fit, and just understand that it's not going to be the same price that's at the dealership. But if the price at the dealership is $10,000 and you're being offered $4,000, and the vehicle's similar condition, similar mileage, all things being equal, well, yeah, maybe you should escalate that up. If you're seeing $10,000 at the dealerships and they're offering you $8,000 or $9,000 or $7,000, it's probably as best you're going to do. So there are ways to go around and get second opinions. We do it with our doctors. We do it with most things in our life. So don't be hesitant to ask your claims adjuster to get their manager involved. But again, I do want to say this. Adjusters do a fantastic job. For the most part, they're not trying to get one over you. In fact, they really want to treat you like they would be treated and give you a fair price for it. All right, so why does the value that your car can get from the insurance company matter? Well, I typically see it happen on two different situations. The most common being when your car has been total lost. The second is when trying to determine whether or not you should carry full coverage, i.e. comp and collision, on your vehicle. Typically, it's an older vehicle when someone asks me this. So the question about whether or not someone should carry comp and collision is such a personal matter. Whether or not I carry comp and collision on a 2003 Tahoe, my thought process might be different than the person down the street. It typically deals with your financial situation and just realistically what you want to have happen. So if you ask your agent, should I carry comp and collision on this? First off, they're probably never going to say, no, you shouldn't, because insurance agents just don't react that way. But here's what they should run with you on this exercise. They should go, all right, well, if we think that our value, a similar vehicle, is X amount of dollars, and we know that the comp and collision component of your insurance policy for this vehicle cost Y amount of dollars, then you can do the determination and figure out a risk-reward scenario. At some point in time, vehicles just, honestly, it's not cost efficient to carry comp and collision on an older vehicle. But that's up for the individual to decide. All the agent can do is counsel. All right, so the most common reason we get asked about valuations on vehicles is, drumroll please, when you've been in an accident and the insurance company is looking at totaling your vehicle. So what does that mean? A total loss on a vehicle means that the insurance carrier has determined that the value of the vehicle, the insurance value on the vehicle, is less than what it's going to cost to fix the vehicle. Now, this is an unfortunate event at any time, and hopefully, all things being considered, no one was injured in the accident. But, insurance companies are in the business of making money and protecting you. And they can't protect you properly if they don't turn a profit. And turning a profit often means cutting your losers when you can. So, in the state of North Carolina, there's a statute that says a car is to be total lost once it hits 75% of the insurance value. So, once again, we talked about our calculation for coming up with a value earlier. Insurance company has decided that your car value is $10,000. And in this wreck, we're already at $7,500 worth of repairs. Well, then the company is going to determine that to be a total loss situation. Now, doesn't mean that you can't keep your vehicle and have it fixed. It just means they're not paying all the amount of money to get it fixed. They'll basically buy your vehicle back and sell it back to you for that salvage value. and then you can do with the money what you want. So 75% is the number in North Carolina, but that doesn't mean that every insurance company waits until 75% to total loss a vehicle. Now, the adjusters have some discretion, and depending on the circumstance, adjusters have told me that they'll start looking at total lossing a vehicle when the damages are around 55. When the body shop's like, look, we're at $5,500 already on this $10,000 vehicle. The adjusters start thinking then, hey, this might be a total loss situation. Now, from experience, I've seen insureds kind of talk with the adjuster that, I want to keep my vehicle. I really like to have it fixed. And the adjusters will try to do their best to avoid that total loss when it's in the best interest of the client. But there are certain points at times where, again, the state mandates you got to cut it off at 75% of the total value. So that's the total loss situation that we discussed. So, hey, I hope this has been helpful when it comes to determining and understanding what the insurance value is on your vehicle. Hopefully you understand the total loss situation. It is kind of one of those insurance terms that people kind of glance over and don't understand. And until next time, we'll see you.